Hello there, I'm Adrian, and today I'm going to be looking at how to play a rock and roll classic by Gene Vincent, which contains some amazing guitar playing by Cliff Gallup. Now, I have to confess that Cliff Gallup is somebody I didn't really know that much about up until recently, other than the fact that he was the guitar player on Bebop-A-Lula. But he's one of those names that keeps cropping up, and he's really well respected by a lot of other guitar players that I like. So I thought it was about time that I got into him and his playing. So this is one of the songs that I chose to figure out myself and to learn how to play this tune, Race with the Devil. And I think it's an absolutely brilliant tune to learn. It really will give you a kind of schooling in rock and roll and rockabilly guitar styles, and it's a lot of fun to play as well. So what I've done, I'm going to break this song down into a series of 3 different lessons. In this lesson I'm going to look at the introduction and the verse part to the song, and then in a couple of subsequent lessons I'm going to look at the guitar solos as well. So you can sort of learn as much or as little of that as you want to, and if you like you can put together the entire song and learn how to play it from start to finish. So let's begin by looking at the introduction. So we're in the key of E for this song, and it's all based on a standard 12-bar blues in E. Gene Vincent, I think, is strumming a basic rhythm guitar part outlining those blues chords, and then Cliff Gallup is playing this wonderful kind of filigree guitar part, but based for the most part on single notes, and then there's the occasional kind of double note chords in there as well. But just before we get to that, let's look at the introduction, which, if I play it slowly, goes like this. And it's this great kind of descending melody, I suppose. It's really just coming down an E major scale, I think, and with a little passing note F thrown in there as well. So let's start by sliding into the 7th fret on the A string. I'm using my 3rd finger to do that, and I'm going to play that note twice. Then I'm playing the 6th fret on that same string twice, the 4th fret twice, then I'm playing the 7th fret on the low E string once. So far we have this. Doesn't particularly matter which fingers you use for this. I think I'm using my 3rd finger, then my 2nd and 1st finger, and then back to my 3rd finger. Continuing now, we're going to play the 5th fret on the low E string twice, then the 4th fret twice, then the 2nd fret twice, 1st fret twice, and then we're going to play the low E string. So all of what we've got so far. That's all played for the most part with a kind of swung 8th note rhythm. It's sort of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Then we're playing this little bit here. Just going back and forth between 2 E notes really. We're playing the low E and then playing the 7th fret on the A string, which is another E note. So I mean, you don't have to play it precisely like the recording here. It's really just rocking back and forth between those 2 notes. But I mean, if you want to play exactly what's on the recording, I think it goes something like this. We play the low E once, then the 7th fret on the A string, low E 2 more times, 7th fret again, low E, 7th fret 3 times, low E again, 7th fret again, then the low E 1 more time, and then finally the 7th fret on the A string just at the top of the verse. And that's played in this kind of rhythm. So I have 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. something like that. But as I say, you don't need to play that too precisely. Just capture the kind of vibe and feeling of the recording at that point, I would say. So moving on to the verse, and that's starting with this sort of classic rock and roll kind of stop time thing for the first 4 bars, where you're just playing kind of chordal stabs. So the first bar of the verse, we're just playing that 7th fret note on the A string, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3. We're going back and forth between these 2 chord shapes. So let me show you what this chord is. It's I'm playing the 6th fret on the 4th string and the 3rd string, and then I'm playing the 7th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings. So we've got these 4 notes, which I guess gives you, it's being played against an E bass note, so it sort of gives you an E6-9 kind of chord sound, which is a classic rock and roll chord. I'm playing that, I think, with my 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th fingers all together, but you could play that with some barring. I think you could bar your 1st and 3rd fingers if that's more comfortable. And what we're doing is we're just taking that chord, playing it once, then we're moving it up to the 11th fret. So we're playing the 11th fret on the 3rd and 4th strings, 12th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings. So it's the same shape, just moved a bit higher up. Playing that once, and then we're just repeating that. And we're playing it in a kind of a syncopated rhythm. So I think it's like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1. So the first chord is on the offbeat, I think, and the second chord is on the 1. So it's 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1. Then the next bit, we've got this nice little rundown which leads us to the chord change to A7. And that's quite straightforward. We're just using this little 2-note shape. I'm playing the 12th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings, playing it again, sliding down 2 frets to the 10th fret, playing it again, sliding down 1 fret to the 9th fret, then playing it again, sliding down 2 frets to the 7th fret. So it's all based on that little 2-note shape. Oops. And again, that's played with quite a syncopated rhythm. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So far the verse part goes like this. We've got 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the overall harmony changes to kind of an A7 sound, and Cliff Gallup's playing this idea. So starting with the 6th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret on the 2nd string, just one of those little 2-note chords. I'm playing this with my 2nd finger and my little finger. So playing that once. Then I'm just dropping down to my 3rd finger at the 7th fret on the 2nd string. I'm keeping my 2nd finger where it is, playing that little 2-note shape. Lifting up my 3rd finger to play the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Then I'm putting my 3rd finger down again, playing that 2-note shape. And then lifting up my 3rd finger to catch the 5th fret on the 2nd string one more time. So if I just put all of that together, it's... And if you play that with a down-up movement of the pick, it feels quite natural, I think. Then he just repeats that phrase again, exactly the same thing. The only thing that's changed is the rhythm is slightly different the second time. The first time he plays it, he starts on the beat. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. The second time it's played on the offbeat, so it's 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's what's known as a rhythmic push the second time. The first time is on the beat. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Just pushing it the second time there. And one more detail that you might like to try, if you've got a guitar that's equipped with a whammy bar, this is the only guitar I've got at the moment that's got a whammy bar. I've got this sort of Bigsby on here, and Cliff Gallup, I think, quite often just kept his little finger resting on the whammy bar, and he kind of glides into some of these notes. So for that first 2-note chord shape, we actually can just depress the bar and glide up into it, and that gives a really nice kind of sound. Just on the first note of each of those phrases. Let's continue then with the next phrase, which goes like this. We're playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Again, you can glide into that with your whammy bar if you want to. Then the 7th fret on the 3rd string, 6th fret, 4th fret, all on the same string. Then I'm hammering on from the 5th fret to the 6th fret on the 4th string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, back to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Then I'm kind of repeating the same notes, so 7, 6, 4 on the 3rd string. So slowly, all of that little phrase. One more time. So I think that's probably the likely sort of position on the neck that Cliff Gallup plays this. You could in fact play the same notes down here, which works quite well, but to me on the recording it doesn't sound like there are any open strings involved. The tone of it sounds more like it's in this area of the neck, if you want to be sort of super fussy about the position on the neck where you play this. So next little phrase is taking us to the harmonies changed now to the B7 chord, the 5 chord in a blues, and we're playing this phrase. Sliding, I'm using my 2nd finger to slide from the 6th fret to the 8th fret on the 3rd string. Then I'm playing the 7th fret on the 2nd string and the 7th fret on the 1st string. And I think you can let those notes ring together a little bit if you want to. And then we're playing kind of the same little chordal idea that we played in the 5th position over the A chord, but this time we're playing it up in the 7th position. So playing the 8th fret and the 10th fret, the 8th fret on the 3rd string, 10th fret on the 2nd string together, dropping down to the 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 2nd string, and then just lifting up the 3rd finger to play the 7th fret on the 2nd string with my index finger. So, and we're just leading into that with the slide. And that all fits the sound of a B7 chord. Next phrase goes like this. We're back to the A chord sound, the A7 chord sound. Sorry. Something like that. So we're hammering on from the 5th fret to the 6th fret on the 3rd string, 5th fret on the 2nd string, 5th fret on the top string, just using my index finger, rolling between those two notes. Back to the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then more of this little 2-note chord shape. So it's the 6th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret on the 2nd string, lifting up the little finger and playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string, then putting the 3rd finger down at the 7th fret. I've still got my 2nd finger where it is, playing those two notes together, and then lifting up the 3rd finger and playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string one more time. So and then the last little phrase we've got is this. So 7th fret on the 3rd string, 6th fret, 4th fret, hammering on from the 5th to the 6th frets on the 4th string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then finally 6th fret on the 3rd string, 5th fret on the 2nd string. Very similar to what we've had before this bit actually. And that's starting on beat 2 of the bar, I think. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. And that's the entire verse part to the song. I think I should probably just play all of that through for you very slowly from the top of the verse so you can see how it all fits together. Remember that I will post the full music and tab to this up on my website if I'm going a little bit too quickly for you in this lesson, and you can sort of follow along with the tab there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about my right hand picking. If I have time, I will add in the picking indications to the tab and the music. But I think it's fairly straightforward. For the most part, I'm playing it with down-up strokes, and I'm trying to pick down on the strong beats and then up on the weaker beats. So on the 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm picking down, and then on all those up beats and the syncopations, I'm picking upwards. But I mean, there's no one correct way to do this, I don't think. So just experiment and find out what works best for you. So there you have the verse part to this song. I think that all of the verses are played in more or less exactly the same way. There is in fact a key change a bit later on in the song where it moves from the key of E up to the key of F, and all you have to do then is play everything 1 fret higher exactly the same way. As usual, I'm going to recommend that you learn this slowly and accurately to start with, and gradually pick up speed. The original recording is pretty fast, and I think it will take some practice to get up to that kind of speed, and it's quite remarkable to hear how cleanly and accurately Cliff Gallup does play this, and all the time maintaining a great kind of groove and swing, which is quite a difficult thing to do at a fast tempo, I think. So take your time and gradually work up to that kind of speed. As I said, this lesson is just the verse and the intro to the song. I've got another couple of lessons where I'm going to look at the guitar solos. So if this has whetted your appetite for some more Cliff Gallup, then I hope to see you for those lessons as well. Take care. Bye-bye.